very short punching motion. Then all we're doing is we're blocking that ball back to the deep part of the court to keep the PB. It's just a simple shot. It's not a big swing. It's just a punching motion. Split step, left foot forward, short. First things first, we want to spend a couple minutes on the grip. The grip is the foundation for every stroke we hit in tennis. The forehand, backhand, our volleys, half volleys, overheads, our serve. If we don't have the proper grip, there's no way we're going to have the consistency, the power, and the control that we want to have. So it's very important that you understand the grips. Throughout my tapes, I'll be talking about the grips and where there are. There's 4 basic grips. I want to talk about those right now. There's 8 sides to every grip, an octagon. We number those this way. Number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is on the bottom, and then your backhand side has 2, 3, and 4. This helps us understand where we're trying to get to in order to get to the proper grips. The first grip that we have is called the continental grip. This is on number 1, or the V of the hand on platform number 1. This grip is used in the serve, all of your volleys, your half volleys. If we can learn this grip, it will help us tremendously. Years ago, this used to be the grip that they hit all the strokes with, but now we've changed and go with the continental, mainly on your serve, again, your volleys, your half volleys. Anything around the net, your net game will go to a continental grip. Your slice also is from the continental grip. Then we move over to an Eastern forehand grip, which is the V of the hand right here on platform number 2. This is also called the handshake grip. So if you put the racket out and shake its hand, that's the proper grip. Sampras uses this on his strokes. This will give you a nice flat stroke. Sampras hits pretty flat and powerful. I teach the semi-western, which is the V of the hand on platform number 3. So the V of the hand, platform number 3. This actually is one that most people pick up if they've started very young, because they go, the racket's on the ground, they go down, pick it up. That's in the semi-western grip. Agassi hits with the semi-western forehand grip. Great grip. This is the one I particularly teach because you can hit the spin, you can hit the power, and yet you have that control just by generating a little more spin for the room for air. Going over further is called the western forehand grip, which is the V of the hand on platform number 4. You'll notice with this grip, you actually hit on this side of the racket. With this grip, it's extreme and it puts too much spin on. Mainly it's clay court players that use this grip because they're from the baseline to baseline, they're going extreme top spin. The balls are going real high over the net. I don't particularly like it because I find when you're trying to hit the passing shots, you don't have enough control to keep the ball lower over the net to make the ball dip down. It just gets the ball loopy, too loopy. So I don't particularly like it, but it's important to know this grip. That's this western forehand grip. Then you have the extreme western, which is on platform number 5 on the bottom. Again, it's clear under here. Again, I don't teach that grip. I don't particularly like it. Then what we do is we move over to the backhand side. There's platform number 2 on the backhand side, which is your left side if you're a right-handed player. Number 2, the V of the hand on number 2 is called the Eastern backhand grip, just like number 2 on the front side, or your right side is the Eastern forehand grip. Eastern backhand grip. This helps get the racket. If you're hitting pretty flat, this is a great grip to have on your backhand. I again teach between the Eastern and the semi-western on the backhand grip, the V of the hand on platform number 2 or 3 to get that racket closed on your backhand so you're able to generate the spin. Very important to understand these grips. Again, going clear over to platform number 4 is the Western backhand grip. Extreme topspin. I don't particularly like it. Again, back to the clay court players. It's not a very diverse grip. You're better off moving to the semi-Western on the forehand, semi-Western on the backhand. You're going to be much more diverse that way. Now, if you're left-handed, it's very important to understand everything is just backwards. You start out platform number 1, continental. Now everything to your dominant hand or your left side is now your forehand side. Platform number 2, Eastern forehand grip. Platform number 3 is the semi-Western forehand grip. You'll hear me talk about this often on your forehand and your backhand. Semi-Western. Western is platform number 4. And then extreme Western is platform number 5. Again, hitting on the back side of the racket. Then we go back around. Eastern backhand grip for a left-hander. Via the hand, platform number 2 on your right side or your non-dominant hand. Platform number 3 is semi-Western backhand grip. Platform number 4 is Western backhand grip. So that you know, as a lefty, you're going to be just the opposite when I talk about the right-handed side and the left-handed side. Now you know the grips. It's very important that you understand these grips and learn them so that you get the racket head in the proper position. Once you do, you'll find the consistency will increase. The ability to hit these shots will increase, and you'll find you're way ahead of your competitors just by learning the proper grips. Hi, I'm James Jensen. Welcome to my Pro Tennis Lessons video series. In today's clinic, we're going to work on one of the most impressive shots in tennis, the serve. What is the ultimate serve? How do we hit it? Are you one of those players that maybe goes through the motion or thinks they're hitting hard, but their opponent's having an easy time returning the ball? Or do you have a blast of a first serve and then your second serve's a little lollipop? What I'm going to do today is I'm going to teach you step by step from very basics, the very beginning, on how to generate power, how to use your leg muscles, the rotation of the hips, your shoulders, the snap of the wrist, how to put it all together to gain that ultimate serve, to gain the power on a flat serve, to gain the spin on the kick serve, and to gain the extra spin on a slice to pull your opponent off the court. We're going to go through all the different shots and where to place it in order to make the serve a weapon. It doesn't have to go 150 miles per hour in order to be a great weapon. As long as we learn to go through the proper motion, go to the proper spots at different times and change it up, your serve can be that ultimate shot, that shot that just will win you easy points so that you can relax when you go on and to the returning side. So come with me today, step by step. I'll teach you what to do and your serve will improve. I promise you, you will find you'll be powering that ball past your opponents. Shots that you would never have been able to hit before. So come with me today. Go grab your racket and let's get started. The first thing we're going to work on is the grip. Like all of our strokes, it's so important that we have the proper grip. On the serve, it's the continental grip. Too often I see people out hitting serves and they're wondering why they're not getting the pop on the serve that they should be getting. These are big guys and they're out really hitting the ball hard. They're muscling in rather than getting that pop. The reason is they're holding either the semi-Western or an Eastern forehand grip. And as you swing, if you'll notice, it hits, the bottom of the racket hits the wrist. You're not able to snap it all the way through. As we move that grip over to the proper grip, and pronate our forearm like we do when we throw a ball, we're able to snap that ball or snap that wrist all the way through, and we're able to get the pop on the ball that we're looking for. If we get this grip, I know I've watched it constantly. I've moved people over to the Continental grip and they just do not like it because they're so used to slapping at the ball this way rather than going through the full motion and being able to open up and snap the wrist at the ball. This grip puts the forearm and puts the hands in the proper form, or in the proper position, so that we can snap all the way through. If you notice, as we pronate the forearm now on our flat serve, we can snap all the way through because the bottom of the racket it no longer hits our wrist. That is critical on the serve. So move your grip over, move it to the Continental grip, and I guarantee you, just from doing that alone will help you get that extra pop as soon as we understand how to hit the serve correctly. So move it to the Continental grip via the hand on platform number 1. Then we can move on and do the rest of the serve, and you're going to be that pop that we're looking for. Now we've got the grip properly. It's the Continental grip. Now we've got to come up to the line and get our feet set. First part of the preparation stage is coming up to the line and getting our feet in proper position. The left foot should be forward, pointing at the right net post, or possibly even at a 90 degree. But I personally like pointing at the right net post. What this does is it already gets our hips turned slightly, so we're ready to already get in that loading position or coiling position. So come up, get your feet in the proper position. The first part of a preparation stage is just trying to get you relaxed and go through the exact same routine, step by step, every time we come out on the court. So what I do is I start, my weight is about mainly on my front foot. I'm completely up. If you'll notice, I could even pull my back foot up. It's nice and relaxed. I'm well balanced on my front foot. I like to do what's called a rocking motion. Some people do it a little differently, but this is what I prefer, is the rocking motion, because then I'm able to rock back and rock forward and generate the power. But I get my feet in proper position already helps get my hips rotated. Then I come up, I bounce the ball a couple times. Again, find your routine and do that routine the same, whether it's the first point of the match or last point of the match. Come up, get yourself set. Get that racket and the ball out in front so you're in a good position to get your swing started. Once you're in this position, we can move on to what's called the loading stage or the coiling stage. At this point, we're here. We start with rotating our shoulders, dropping the weight to the back foot. So it's a rocking position. We rock back, the shoulders rotate, we let the arms go down, our hips are starting to rotate, and it goes down together and up together. Okay? Rock here, rock back, arms up, down together, and up together. What this does is it gets our shoulders rotating, our hips rotating, so that we're in a position that we can get up to that power position and then explode on the ball or explode on the serve. One of the hardest parts of the serve is actually the toss. If you can get a toss in the same place each time, you're going to be so far ahead of most people. Too often I find people holding the ball down in the palm of their hands and they're trying to toss the ball with a bent elbow. So sometimes it's here, sometimes it's over here, sometimes it's here. If we get our toss into the fingertips with the palm up, keep our arm extended, that's the distance out into the court that we want it to be. We want to be a good 2-3 feet inside the court if we're hitting the ball very hard. It can go a little further back if we're spinning or hitting some of the slice serves. But if we're hitting that flat serve, it has to be a good 2-3 feet inside the line so that we can go and explode on it. So we go from that preparation stage. We go down, rotate our shoulders, rotate the weight back, down together and up together. That toss goes up in a consistent place every time. Notice as that toss goes up, I'm up into that same power position as our overheads or the trophies that you see in tennis. It's the serve or the overhead motion, the power position. That's what we're trying to get into, is the power position. Some of the greatest servers in the world get to that position a little bit differently. What I personally like is rotating down together and up together. Down together and up together. If we can get that motion together, it'll make the serve so much easier. So here, preparation stage, down together, rotate the hips, rotate the shoulders, and get that toss up. As that toss is in the air, and you're into this power position with the racket, this is when we do one of two things with our feet. We either want to do what's called a step up motion or a step back motion. That's completely up to you, what you feel most comfortable with. The different positions of our feet do a couple different things. Either vertical power is higher or horizontal power is higher, depending on what we do. I personally teach the step up method, because what I want to do is I want those feet to be together so that I can get a nice base to work off of. The power in our serve comes from the biggest muscles in our body, which is the leg muscles. So as that tosses in the air, we do the step up motion. The power of our serves comes from our deep knee bend. If you ever used to watch Becker or some of the greatest servers out there, they really bent their knees way down so that they could drive those legs up into the ball. The biggest muscles we have on our body are our leg muscles. That's the part that most servers do not utilize near enough. That's why you can see these little 98-pound kids out there hitting incredible serves, because they've learned to drive their legs up and they've learned to be relaxed on their swing. So as they're going at it, they're nice and relaxed and they're snapping through the ball, but they're driving those legs up. They're using everything up into the ball. Most of us go out there and we try to muscle the ball in, and we don't get near the pop, near the power, the heaviness on the ball that we're looking for. This part is critical. Learn to drive those legs up to the ball. So as that toss is in the air, you're in that power position, you've stepped up, and you're ready to drive up into the ball. So we move from what's called that loading stage or coiling stage into the unloading, or I like to use the term exploding, because we want to learn to explode into the ball. The unloading stage is this. We go from the power position, we start driving our legs up. So they're driving up. Our hips are starting to rotate. Our shoulders are rotating. We're reaching, we're snapping the wrist, and then we go through the last stage, which is the follow-through stage. So let's quickly go through the whole service motion again. Very important. Get up in the preparation stage. Get yourself set and get yourself ready to go through the motion. Go through the coiling or the loading stage. Rock back, rotate your shoulders. Real simple explanation for this will help you not go through the paralysis by analysis. It's just a throwing motion. It's just the same as a wind-up and a throw. That's all the service motion is. Let's simplify it. Too often if we go too analytical from step by step by step, we're thinking too much and we're not able to hit it. We're not relaxed because we're thinking too much. Let's make this simple. All of my tapes are about simplicity, learning the simple motion to the serve, the forehand, backhand, whatever we might be hitting. Let's simplify this just a little bit. From the preparation stage, it's the wind-up, rotation of the shoulders, rotation of the hips, getting your legs ready. From here, the arms go down, we're winding up, the toss goes up, our arm is extended, and it's going. All we're doing is opening those fingers up. Notice we can get to the same spot each time just by extending that arm. This distance really doesn't change too much over our lifetime, so we know where that's going to be each time. If we can get that extended, then we can learn to control the toss. Same place every time. Then we're here, that toss is up in the air. We've rotated the shoulders, the hips. Now we do the step-up method. We step up to our back foot and get those knees down so we're ready to drive them up into the ball. Here, power position, knees are up, toss is up, we're going up to that ball. Notice the legs driving up to that ball. Reach, snap, and follow through at our target. Again, let me show it and just throwing a ball, and you'll see the exact same motion. Just going through the wind up, reach, snap, and follow through. It's a very simple motion. It's just a throwing motion. Simplify this as much as you possibly can, and you'll find so much more power to it. Again, through the motion, drop, rotate the shoulders, racket goes up, step up, drive the legs. Legs drive, hips rotate, shoulders rotate, arm extends, snap the wrist, and follow through across the body. That's called the kinetic chain. As long as we keep that chain working together, the power of the legs goes up into the power of the hip rotation, to the power of the rotation of the shoulders, to the full extension so we give ourselves the best angle down into the court, to the snap of the wrist, to the follow through across. Everything works together to generate the heaviness on our serve. That ball that when it hits our opponent's racket, it actually knocks their racket back. They're not able to just control the ball and do what they want with it. We want to generate a heavy serve. We're going to go step by step through the flat serve, what we do, through the topspin serve, through the slice serve. But the stages are all the same. Whether it's the preparation stage of a flat serve, the topspin, the slice, it's the same. Your loading is going to be identical. We're still going to rotate the shoulders, rotate the hips, get our legs involved. We're still going to snap the wrist. It's just what we're doing with the wrist. Whether we're going straight over the top for a flat serve, if we're going to go up the back of the ball with topspin, or around the side for the slice, everything from up through the exploding stage is the same. At this point it changes. Right when we're making contact, that's it. So go through, work on these things step by step. I guarantee if you'll go through and check your serve compared to the step-by-step analysis of what we've talked about, you'll find some component missing if you're not feeling the power that you're hitting on your serve. A good gauge when you're out serving, a flat serve especially, it should be able to hit the box and hit the back fence on one bounce. It should not hit the ground until it's already hit the back fence. That will be a gauge on whether you're hitting a serve properly or not. As soon as you hit it properly, it'll be very easy. You won't even have to hit the ball hard. You can hit that ball in the box and it hits the back fence, even going 3/4 pace. You go full speed, it should be going 4, 5, 6 feet up the back fence. One of the largest problems that people have on their serve is the toss. The tosses are all over the place. They're back to the side, they're back behind their heads, they're short, they're way all over the place. And it's very difficult to learn and trust yourself to explode on that ball if we're not sure where the toss is going to be. The toss is crucial on a serve. It is very, very important. I can't emphasize enough how important the toss is. If we can learn to control the toss, we will be so far ahead. And then we're able to really drive our legs and everything going after the ball because we know where the ball is going to be. If you have no clue where the ball is going to be, it's very difficult to do that. What I like to do to work on the toss, one of the drills, is come up against a fence. If you'll notice, stand about good 2-3 feet from the fence. That's the distance we want our toss to be. I don't want my toss to be back behind my head. If my toss is behind my head, at contact my racket face is open, and there's no way that ball is going down into the box. It's impossible. So I have to have that ball out in front so that when I make contact, it's extended and it's at a nice vertical or slightly closed. I'm able to snap that ball down into the court. So this is a great way to work on your toss. Get about 2-3 feet, or the distance that you can extend with your arm, and then try to toss that ball straight up the fence without hitting it. Straight up. Notice that one's coming back, but straight up the fence without hitting it. So down and up the fence. Down, up the fence. Try to get that toss in the consistent place each time. If we can do that, we will be so far ahead. But that toss is so, so important. Work on that. It's not as easy as it looks. I watch people constantly trying to do it, and their tosses are all over the place, but it should go straight up the fence without hitting it. Straight up without hitting it. I've played this game a little bit, so it's a little easier for me just because I've done it so many times. Get out and practice your toss. If you can get that toss where you want, you will be, like I said, so far ahead of everyone else. So after we're exploding on that ball, that toss has gone out in front, we're driving, we're extending, we're reaching, snapping, and following through. What do? Do we try to keep our weight back, or do we continue on? The follow-through is critical. Catch it out in front. Our weight is all driving forward at our target. If we're leaning back, number one, we're probably not getting it in the box. Number two, we're losing all the power that we've tried to generate by going through the rocking, the rotation of the hips, shoulders, the driving of the legs. If we're holding back, we've lost all that momentum. We want to keep all that momentum going into the ball, driving forward. So as we're here, we're going power position, rackets about back in this position, nice distance from our shoulder, so that drives down, comes all the way around, snap, and then we go forward. We should be landing forward on our front foot. It's here, drive forward, snap, landing on our front foot, nice and balanced, but all of the momentum driving into the ball. That's what we want to generate the power from our legs, from the momentum, everything working together, exploding on the ball and moving in and forward. It also helps us be in a better position if we're going to serve and volley, because everything's already moving into the court. So here, through the motion, go, attack, and move into the court. Then we'll have the position and the power, everything that we want in order to get the shot that we're looking for on the serve. Everything's working together, that full kinetic chain. There's three basic serves I want to elaborate on. Like a great pitcher, a great server has many different serves, different speeds, different angles, different depths, hitting to different parts of the box. There's three basic serves. Those serves are the flat serve, the topspin or kick serve, and the slice serve. What I want to do is show you exactly what those basic serves are. A flat serve is just like a throwing motion. You pronate your forearm, you're hitting right over the top of the ball. A topspin serve, you're going up the back of the ball. You're brushing up the back, like from 7 o'clock to 1 o'clock if you're using a clock. A slice serve is coming around the side of the ball, right around from 9 o'clock to 3 o'clock, right around the side. Each one of those serves does different things. Let me show you on my super ball here real quickly, kind of give you an idea of what we're looking at. On a flat serve, we're trying to get up high, reaching and snapping straight down, so when it hits, it actually hits and jumps. A topspin, on the other hand, is hitting again from 7 o'clock to 1 o'clock, or even 8 to 2, depending on how much twist or kick you want on it. But what you're doing is it's going up the back of the ball. You're snapping up the back, and the ball starts to roll this way. So when it hits, it actually hits and either twists the opposite way or hits and jumps up. The slice serve, you're hitting around the side, 9 o'clock to 3 o'clock. You're hitting around the side. It's a great serve if you're using to go towards the middle or up the tee to pull into their body, or if you're going far to the right side, to their forehand side, you can go a little bit shorter and really pull them off the court. It's a great serve for that. So you're going around the side, the ball starts spinning sideways, so when it hits, it actually stays down and spins out and pulls away from where you are hitting. These basic serves are great and very important. Now we know all the different types of serves, the flat serve, the topspin serve, and the slice serve. Now I'm going to teach you how to hit the flat serve. This is probably the most common hit serve, and it's kind of a serve that people don't quite understand. The critical thing, like I talked about at the beginning of these tapes, is the grip. You want to make sure that you have the grip as a continental grip, or the V of the hand on platform number 1. Then as you're hitting a flat serve, all it is a throwing motion. It's a matter of going here, pronating your forearm, reaching, snapping, and following through across the body. You do the same thing if you're going to throw a ball. You don't throw a ball sideways, you pronate the forearm, you go through, release, and follow through. It's the exact same motion. So again, via the hand, continental grip, go through that motion that we talked about, rotating the hips, shoulders, racket goes up to the power position, reach, snap, follow through across the body. That grip is critical so that you can get that full snap in order to get the ball down in the court. Just like our overheads, this is critical, the snap of the wrist. The toss, we want it off of the right ear and at the height of our reach. So when we get that full extension, it's off the right side, height of the reach, we're able to snap down in. I tell people that years ago in high school, our math teachers always told us that math would be used throughout your life. Think about the best angle down into the court. The best angle into the court is at the height of your reach. As we come down, the ball has to loop over. For a nice hard flat serve, we want to make sure we get full extension on the body. We make contact at the height of our reach so that we get up here, get a great angle down into the court, and snap it into the body. Again, let me look at it this way and give you this view. We go at you, it's to the side, height of the reach, snap, follow through across the body. One more time. Go through the motion, toss goes up, height of the reach, up, reach, snap, and follow through. Just a throwing motion. Keep it simple. I'm going to go through a drill with you right now. I take all of my people through this because it's such an easy way to teach. What it does is it really magnifies the problem. I'm going to move you up to the service line, and if your toss is behind your head, or if you don't snap that wrist, there's no way you can snap the ball down into the box. You have to be able to hit it in the box from the service line. And then we can start moving our way back about halfway and then the full way. You'll see that the motion's identical, whether we're at the service line, halfway back to the baseline, and on the baseline. Now we've moved you up to the service line. From here, really watch where the toss is and watch the snap of the wrist. That's the critical things to work from this position. If you don't get that toss in front and it gets behind you, I guarantee there's no way you can snap that ball down into the court. What we want to do is go through the regular service motion and get used to that toss in front, snapping it down into the court. Go through the exact same motion, snap it down into the court. Very important to snap that wrist, and in order to get it into that box, you have to snap the wrist. It's critical, and that toss has to be out in front. So let's work on this a little bit more. Really go through the full service motion, and on this flat serve, again, go through that full motion, pronate the forearm, which opens or flattens out the racket face, snap the wrist, and catch that ball out in front, and then get all of your weight going into the ball so you can really work on the power and down into the court. Here, pronate, snap down into the court. If you can get this down, it's the exact same motion as we move back to the baseline. Again, get your feet set, go through the full motion, get the toss out in front, reach, snap, and follow through. Full motion, reach, snap, and follow through. Now I'm going to give you a couple of looks at what you don't want to do. These are some of the things that I see out walking around the club. Too often I see tosses going back and people are falling away. It's a killer of your power, it's a killer of control, and there's no way you're going to be able to hit the ball hard into the box. So if that toss is behind and you're moving back, you notice even then, with the big snap of the wrist, I couldn't get it down into the court. It's back and down. There's no way. I see that all the time. People's tosses are all over the place. Really work on the consistency of the toss. Really work on the snapping of the wrist. Those are the two things I see lacking more than anything else. People try to get here and muscle the ball in rather than be relaxed, snapping through and following through. I like to use the terminology of a bullwhip or something like that. See these little kids and they're just out here nice and relaxed. You want to be nice and relaxed and let that arm fly. Snap it down into the court. It's very easy when it's done properly. So then once we've worked several times up at the service line, we'll want to move back maybe halfway between the service line and the baseline. So let's move on back and see it from this angle. Now we've moved back about halfway back between the service line and the baseline. The motion is going to be identical. Work on your toss out in front, work on pronation of the forearm, and the snapping it down into the court. Go through your full service motion. Down into the court. Full service motion. Down into the court. Really work on that toss, work on the full motion, and getting up to the ball. Full extension, snap, and follow through. This is the most commonly hit serve. And once we understand what causes the ball to go in and out, it's very easy to adjust and make it go where we want it to go. And a lot of it's in the snap of the wrist and the toss. Those are the two critical elements in a good flat serve. If the balls are all going long, normally it's caused because the tosses are back behind your head. If the balls are going into the net, it's normally caused because your head's being pulled down. The adjustment for these are tosses are balls going long, get the toss further out in front so we can get up over the top of it and snap it down into the court. If they're going into the net, utilize your left hand. Agassi's a great example of this. You watch him serve and his left hand is up there quite a long time. That helps keep your chest and head up, help you keep focused on the ball so you're able to keep that head up and not pull it down into the net. Those are some adjustments that we want to make. Now I want to move you back to the baseline to work on the exact same serve. As you'll notice, the motion's going to be identical and everything will work the same as it did up at the service line. Exact same motion, snap the wrist, and the results are there. It's a matter of going through the full motion, snap and follow through. The exact same motion. Once you feel comfortable from the service line and halfway back, it's very easy to hit it from the baseline. As you noticed, everything was identical. We go through the full motion, we get up, reach, pronate the forearm, snap through, and follow through. Everything is moving into the court as I'm utilizing my legs, the rotation of the hips, shoulders, the arm, the snap of the wrist, and the follow through to generate the most power possible. The flat serve is where they're hitting 140 miles per hour. This is the one that will woo all the people out there. It's very important to understand how it works. Once you do, it's very easy to hit. Then we can get the consistency where we want it to be. 65%, 70% maybe if it's a great day, serving day. But if we're hitting full speed, your opponents are going to have some trouble. Go work on the flat serve. Get out on the court, work from the service line back, and you'll find it much easier to serve from the baseline once you understand how to get it in from the service line, because everything is magnified from there. Moving back is actually easier to get it into the box. So go out and practice, and your flat serve will be that dominant serve that you're looking for. Now that you've learned the flat serve, we're going to move on to the kick serve or the topspin serve. This is a serve that people just do not understand. Just like our topspin forehand or topspin backhand, most people don't understand how the topspin is generated. As you remember from the Super Ball that I brought out, what we're trying to do is we're trying to hit from 7 o'clock to 1 o'clock or maybe 8 to 2. So that as it hits, it actually hits and jumps or hits and twists. It'll actually twist away or jump into people. It's fun to watch people how they adjust as they're trying to hit the serve back when you hit a good kick serve or a good twist serve. The way that we hit this, if you remember how to hit a topspin forehand, it's up the back of the ball. We're brushing up the back of the ball. The way that you do it is all you're doing is turning it over. Now we're going up the back of the ball, 7-1. The harder we hit up, the more air pressure is pushing down on top of the ball to bring it down in the court. This is a great serve for second serves because it's very consistent once you trust it and once you understand how it works. It's also great for doubles. It gives you a little more time to get into the net. Sometimes the flat serve in doubles is tough because the ball's coming back so quick, you're not able to get in. Where the kick serve, it's moving a little slower with all the spin on, you can get in a little bit closer to the net. Serve and volleyers use a kick serve a lot in order to get a little closer to the net. Some other terminology that's used on the kick serve is we're trying to brush up the back of the ball or peel the orange. That's another word that's used sometimes. Where do we aim? That's the tough thing. Most people aim into the box on the kick serve rather than aiming for the baseline or even the back fence. What we're trying to do is aim deeper, and the hitting up, the brushing motion on the kick serve actually bends it down in the court. So when you're first practicing, you're going to have to aim a lot deeper than you would think just to start getting the feel. The kick serve grip is going to be identical. We can do it with the Continental grip. We don't have to change grips. Once you feel more comfortable with your kick serve, you can actually move it over a little bit further to manipulate the ball even more and have it even twist or kick even more. But to start out with, use the Continental grip or the V of the hand on platform number 1. As we're going back, the motion's going to be identical, except now, rather than pronating the forearm for our flat serve, we're going to let the ball drop just a little bit more so that we can hit up the back of the ball and follow through. But you'll notice the motion itself is identical. I'll go through a slow motion. Maybe let me do it at you just real quick, just so you get the idea. Here, go through the motion. Here, up the back of the ball. Snap, follow through. Brushing up the back of the ball or peeling off the orange. I'll go through some slow motion. I won't hit them hard just to get you used to seeing what you're trying to do. You have to get the feel on this serve. Once you get the feel, you can trust it, and then you can really go after it in your matches. You can hit this anytime, and it's great because it's very, very consistent. That's why it's mainly used for a second serve or a first serve if you need to bring up your percentages. But it's here, up the back of the ball, and bend it down in. Up the back of the ball, bend it down in. You notice the motion and the snap of the wrist is up and across. Just like our forehand topspin, we hit up the back of the ball. The harder we hit up, the more the ball comes down. Up the back of the ball. Here, up the back of the ball. The toss can be moved over slightly, maybe right over the top of your head or even over to your left ear now. And it can be a little further back because we're trying to hit up rather than out and up or down into the court. So we can bend it back into the court. You'll watch as it hits, it will hit and jump or hit and twist depending on which spin you put. 7-1, 8-2. You can do several different things with this. Once you understand and feel comfortable with it, get out and test it so that you can feel good. Up the back of the ball. Up the back of the ball. Notice it's up the back of the ball. Very, very important. Let me show you the difference between the flat serve and the topspin or the kick serve. Notice the motion itself is identical. We want to be deceptive when we serve. We don't want to give away that we're hitting a kick serve early because then the opponent will know what's coming. We want to give it away at the latest possible time. Just like a great pitcher, we want to be a great server. So a flat serve is here, snap and follow through. I'll hit one quick flat serve, flat. And then a topspin serve. I'm going to go through the exact same motion, and then spin it. Notice the motion is identical. I don't change it until the very last possible time, and then I hit up the back of the ball and follow through, rather than pronate, snap, and follow through. Don't give it away early. This serve is so very important to be able to hit. If you can gain a kick serve, you will feel so confident on your first serve, you'll go for it, and then you won't have to hit your kick serve. But if you know you have a good kick serve as a second serve, you don't have the little lollipop second serve, then you'll be able to go for it, and you can use it at different times. So remember, brush up the back of the ball. Brushing motion is so very important. Aim deep and up the back of the ball. Once you feel comfortable with this and understand how it works, it's simple to hit. You could hit it all day long in any situation. Practice the kick serve. It's such an incredible serve to have. We'll be able to move it around in the box as well. But learn how to hit it. Continental grip, go through the correct motion, up the back of the ball, brushing motion, right up over the left side, left ear, or maybe right up over your head. Drive up. The harder we hit up, the more spin is put on to drive it down in the court. And then it goes in, then follow through. This is a great serve to have. We've got to have it. Go out and practice it so you can pick up the kick serve. Then you'll have two different serves to work on your opponent, and it'll be so much easier to win your service games. Now you have two of the main serves that are hit. Now let's work on the third, the slice serve. Remember from the Super Ball that I brought out, what you're trying to do now on the slice is you're hitting from 9 o'clock to 3 o'clock, or coming around the side of the ball rather than up the back of the ball or straight over the top. So it's around the side of the ball. Your toss is going to be back over where your flat serve toss is, off of your right ear, out in front, coming around the side. What the slice does is it spins this way, so when it hits, it drives away from your opponent. Or if you actually on the deuce side hit it up the tee, it'll drive right into their body with the slice. The slice a great serve to have. If you have all three, you'll be way better off than if you just have one or even two serves. Get all three of them and you're going to be an incredible server. The motion itself is going to be identical. We go through the same stages: preparation stage, the loading stage, the exploding stage, and the follow-through, just the same. The motion is going to be identical, except for at this point, when we're going to make contact with the ball, now we come around the side of the ball rather than over the top or up the back. So it's around the side. This is very deceptive because many people that have a strong flat serve, it's the same exact toss position, and so they're expecting a flat serve. That spin serve comes off, it's pulling them off the court. They don't know what to do. It's a great serve to have. So when you're practicing, work on coming around the side of the ball. We're just coming around the side. Work on that motion. The toss is identical. Do it slowly to get the feel first, and then speed it up. But around the side first. Now if I was serving at you and you were my opponent, this is what you would see. Go through the same motion here, come around the side of the ball and follow through. The ball is hitting and pulling away. It's very, very difficult to read. I'll show you one other one. Here would be flat coming right at you. Here would be slice coming right at you. Boom, around the side. Almost identical motions, just coming around the ball here or coming straight over the top. Very, very difficult to read. Practice your slice. It's a very, very important serve to have in your arsenal. around the side of the ball. Nice and slow around the side. Where you're aiming with your slice, what I like to do with my slice is aim about halfway up or 3/4 the way back on the single sideline so that when it hits, it pulls away. By the time your opponent gets to it, it's almost to the fence. They have a very difficult time controlling that ball because it's already pulling away from them so quickly. It's very hard for them to catch up to it. Here, around the side of the ball. Full extension, same motion, around the side of the ball. Very important. Notice even speeding up, the motion's identical. Remember, the toss on this and the grip are identical to the flat serve. It's still the continental grip on all of the serves that we hit via the hand on platform number 1. The motion is identical. You come up, you get yourself set, go through your nice preparation stage, goes through the loading stage, get that toss in front, and come around the side. Spin it around the side. Sampras used to use this constantly. You go back to tape from him, and he would constantly use this on the ad side up the tee. Up the tee, pull it here and around and pull it away from his opponent. He got so many aces with this serve. And one of the toughest thing about Sampras is you could not read where his serve was going. That's the greatest thing about his serving. So really work on this slice serve. It's so very important to have. Have all these serves in your arsenal. Around the side. Around the side. You want to go up the tee, and pulls around into the body. Very, very easy to hit when you understand what you're doing. It's not difficult if we understand. We're just trying to come around the side of the ball. You can go a little extreme, throw it out a little wider just to get the feel to begin with. Once you get the feel and you start to trust it, all of our serves become so very easy. It's not a difficult motion once we simplify it and go through and understand what happens. Most people just don't understand. I ask people constantly, how do you hit a topspin? How do you hit a slice? And they give me so many different answers. Topspin especially, they think you want to come over the top of the ball rather than hit up the back of the ball. Slice, they don't understand really what a slice is. Slice is just coming around the side of the ball. You're peeling it off and bringing it so it pulls wide. All you're doing is you're generating the spin so when it hits the ground it does what you want it to do. Once you get all 3 of these serves, you are going to be a great server. You'll be able to change things up. Your opponents won't have a clue what you're going to do. And you'll have the confidence to go with your flat, your topspin, your slice serve at any time in a match, at any time that you need it at the opponent's weakness. So let's go out, practice these 3 serves, and I promise you, you will find your service games are way easier to win because you're able to hit all different types of serves. Get out there and practice them, and you will improve. Notice that as I came off the serve, I'm here, I'm ready for the next shot. I don't care how good a server you are, always think that the next ball is coming back. So you're ready for either in this position, I'm coming up to serve and volley. If I was going to hit a ground stroke afterwards or I was planning on staying back, I would go through the same motion. I'll show you the motion. And then I'd get back, but I'm ready. It's so important to be ready. Then I'm here, I'm ready for the next shot. But I'm ready, split step, I'm getting ready for the next ball. No matter what serve you hit, always think the ball is going to come back. You're ready for the next shot. Don't give up on a point until you see that ball bounce twice and the point is over. Everything can come back. Even hitting 140 miles per hour, the balls can come back. If you're ready, you will be in a great position because normally it's going to be a weak reply and you can win off of that shot or go in and advance off of that shot. But be ready. That's critical. With the help of my friend Gary, my old doubles partner and current coach at Irvine High School, he's also been a longtime tennis pro, we're going to work on the different placements, where we want to go with the serves, and how to serve at weaknesses. So let's go grab your racket and let's work on our shots. Now we've taught you how to hit all the different serves, the flat, the topspin, and the slice serve. Now we're going to work on placement. Just having a strong serve and going the same place every time is not going to win you points. You actually have to learn how to move it around in the box. Like a great pitcher, you need to change speeds, you need to change placement, you need to change where you're going with it. And you need to look at your opponent and see what their weaknesses are so we can work on their weaknesses and be able to actually hit to their weaknesses. So what we're going to do now is I've set up cones. So we'll go to the 4 different serves, the short slice serve, the flat serve to the wide side, the one to the body, and the one up the tee. So we can go flat, topspin, slice to these various targets, and then we're able to work on where we want to go with the serves. I set up the cones 4 in each one of the boxes. I set it up with 1 up the tee. You can either hit a flat serve up the tee or a slice up the tee, which will actually start curving toward the body. Set 1 in the middle, which is a real body shot. You can hit that also with a flat serve or a slice or a kick serve as well. You've got the one on the left side or the far right side, which is going to the opponent's forehand. That's going to be hit again with a kick, slice, or flat serve. And then a shorter one is typically hit with a slice serve. Those are the basic boxes in the deuce court. The ad court are basically set up the exact same. I've gone 1 up the tee, 1 in the box. You can go up the tee with the flat serve or the slice, which will pull away from your opponent. Sampras was great with that serve. The one in the middle is a body shot, which can be hit with any of the 3 serves. The one to the outside, hit with a flat serve or a kick serve as well. And the one shorter, I normally hit with the kick serve. I like the short angle kick serve. It's a little harder to get to, but I really like that shot. So those are the 4 cones in each one of the boxes. The first one we're going to work on, pick your serve. I want to work on the flat serve up the tee is what I'm going to work on first. So we'll go with the flat serve up the tee, or going at the cone up the tee with the flat serve and the slice. Let's throw the slice in as well. Also, the one up the tee can be hit with a topspin serve, which is probably the majority of the serves that you'll hit up the tee, especially on the second serve, going to the backhand side, which is generally the weaker of the 2 sides. So the topspin up the tee is absolutely a critical serve as well. So let's get started and let's hit these serves. All right, the first serve we're hitting is the flat serve up the tee. Really on this, remember, you've got to pronate that forearm so that you can snap it straight down the line. If you don't pronate the forearm, there's no way you'll get that serve up the tee. Now we're going to move to the middle cone. Remember, do not change where we are on the baseline. We're going to serve from the same spot, whether it's down the line, to the middle, to the outside. So we don't give away our serve just by location. Deception is a big part of a good serve. Now we're hitting to the center cone. Remember, hitting the cone is not the important thing. It's going to the general direction. Key, again, serve from the same spot. Pick your target before you go up, and then go after it. Attack that ball. If you miss, you adjust. Adjust as you go. Just try to go through proper form. If you miss, you adjust and go for it again. You do not have to hit every serve in, but work on the direction. Again, the body shot's a great one because it's one that people get caught up inside and there's not much they can do with the return. Especially if you've hit a couple down the line. They're adjusting over, that body's wide open, a great place to hit. There we go. Now we're starting to get warmer, as you notice. Then you can start getting on top of the ball and start hitting it the direction that you're looking at going. Again, don't get frustrated. It takes a lot of balls. Percentages of first serve should be around 60-65%. Too often we think we have to hit 90% to be hitting well. Doesn't have to be 90%. Get 60-65%. See, now Gary's warming up as well. And that'll happen from hitting good form. That's a great serve to the body. I don't give away my serve based on my location. Also, the contact point is going to be identical. All we're going to change is the direction or how far I pronate my forearm. I pronate wide open to go up the tee, a little less to go down the middle, and a little less to go to the outside or to the forehand side. So work on that, but work the direction. Whoa. But it's the exact same. Once you get your toss in the right place, it's easy to hit the serve where you want it to go. You noticed as we got warmed up, we were able to start directing the serve right where we wanted it. Starting to really snap those serves off. And it's important to see that the wind-up and the preparation is different from server to server, but the form is the same from the power position. And the toss is going to be in the same spot, whether you hit it at the same time, like I hit it on the rise, some people hit it as it's coming down, some people hit it right as it hits its peak. You find what's most comfortable to you, but the contact point is still at the height of your reach. That toss was way too low. See what happens when the toss is not above your head? It goes into the net. But what do? We blow it off. It doesn't matter if you miss a serve. Go back to good form. Not the one I wanted. Not the one I wanted. That's the one I want. Get yourself set and go after your serve. That one I dropped my head on. That's the reason I pushed it long. Now that's the basic areas you're going to hit on your flat serve. Now what we're going to do is we're going to move on. You can actually do that exact same drill with your slice and your topspin or kick serve. Practice going to the various areas until you feel comfortable that you're able to hit where you want it to go. Now we're going to move on and we're going to hit the topspin and the slice and the flat serve up the tee. What I want you to do as someone watching this is look at the service motion and see if you can tell if it's a flat serve, a slice serve, or a topspin serve based on how we're making contact with the ball. Flat is straight over the top. It's pronate in the forearm. You're snapping straight over the top. Topspin, remember, up the back of the ball, slices around the side of the ball. We're going to hit these a little bit different. We're going to change them up, and you see if you can tell what they are. After we hit it, we'll actually tell you what we hit. Again, notice that we're going to serve from the exact same spot on the baseline, no matter if it's a flat topspin kick or the slice serve. So again, watch and see if you can tell what serve we're hitting based on the contact. What do you think that was? That was actually flat. Now I'm going to go to the short cone to the forehand side with a slice. Hopefully it'll hit the fence before my opponent can get to it. Slice around the side of the ball. There we go. That's a little better. Now we're going to talk about how to develop a strong second serve. Too many people have a strong first serve, and then their second serve is just a little lollipop, and the returner does anything he wants with it. Because you hit the same motion as you do on your flat first serve, you go with the little flat second serve, but you want it in, so you just push it over. We need to learn how to hit the topspin kick serve and the slice serve. The reason we don't hit a flat serve on the second serve very often is because the room for error is very small. As you're hitting so hard, it has to go barely over the net in order to get into the box. With our topspin serve and our slice serve, because we're spinning the ball, with the topspin, remember, we're brushing up the back of the ball. The harder it goes up, so it loops up over the net, drives down into the court, and then has great movement once it hits the court. The slice is the same. You're going higher over the net, and then it's down into the box because of the amount of spin you're putting on it. Normally what causes most people problems on their topspin serve and their slice serve for a second serve is they slow the racket head down. They don't allow that racket head speed to be the same as on the flat serve. You don't slow down your second serve. You hit with the same speed. But because you're hitting spin, it gives it the consistency to get it down in. So the biggest problem people have is they try to guide the ball in, and they slow that racket head down, so they're actually not generating the speed, that racket head speed that they should, and generating the amount of spin that they need to bring that ball down in the court. So it's very important when you learn to hit that topspin second serve or the slice second serve that you trust it, that you actually go after it, so you're generating the spin that you need to bring it down into the court. So we're going to work a little bit on the different serves, go for the different angles, and where should we go with our second serve? In general, on the deuce side, our second serve is going to be a kick serve or a topspin serve. And in general, we're going to kick it up the tee because that's to our opponent's backhand, which on the majority of people is their weakest shot. So we're going to try to go right up the tee with our second serve to get to their backhand side. Very, very important to have that specific serve. And in order to get that, you have to get out and work at it and start to understand. As we hit hard and hard and hard and start trusting it in our mind, we finally can trust it in our matches because we've hit it enough times and understand how it works. Once you understand that it's by hitting, the harder we hit up, the more the ball comes down, toss out the idea that the ball is going to go over the fence because we're hitting up so hard. Once you trust it, you will see how it works. Once you see how it works, it's very easy to hit because you know you can do it all day long. Any time of a match, you can throw a spin serve, a top spin serve, or a kick serve in. So you've got to learn. Go out, try it. When you first start, you may be aiming at the back fence in order to get it in. If you're aiming inside the court, your topspin serve may be bouncing before you get to the net. But start aiming a little bit deeper and start working with those cones so you can direct the serve where you want. Once you trust it, you will totally be able to trust it and you'll be able to go for it all the time. All right, here's the scenario. I'm in a match. I come up, get ready to hit my first serve. It's out. I don't panic. I realize I've got a second serve that I can trust. I go up to the line, go through the exact same motion, and hit a topspin serve right up the tee. Very easy to do. You noticed I didn't slow anything down. The motion itself was just as fast as on my flat serve, but I went with extra spin to give me the room for error. So I went nice and high over the net. The spin brought it down into the court. When it hit, it moved, and my opponent most likely was going to have a lot of trouble with that second serve. Trust your second serve. You've got to be able to hit that topspin serve or a slice serve. And normally, like on this one, I went up the tee to their backhand side, which is normally the weaker of the two sides. We don't want to get too predictable, though. We don't always want to go to the backhand side so that they start leaning over that way and they're right on top of it and ready to rip a ball back at us. Let's try it again. This time I go up. Again, go ready, hit my first serve. Again, it's too long. Now I want to change it up. I don't want to hit up the tee because I've hit several up the tee. I want to change it up. This time I want to go at their body. So when going to the body, I'm going to use a kick serve. Notice the preparation, notice the racket head speed. It's going to be the same. I don't slow the racket head down. I have to accelerate it. Let me go one more to the same spot. Notice when it hits, it jumps or moves. That's the important thing on the second serve. Don't make it easy. In this scenario on my second serve, I'm going to try to pull them wide off the court so it opens the other side of the court up. Very good serve to use as a slice serve to the forehand side to pull them wide. That's not bad. Let me go one more. Oh, I missed it. That was a good one. I missed the serve, though. Come on, get in there. Now I'm going to move over to the ad box. We're going to change things up slightly. We're still going to work the kick serves and the second serves, but now instead of generally going up the tee to the backhand, I'm moving the backhand to the outside. So I'm going to kick to the outside box. That's what you're going to hit more times than not. Let me go one more to that same spot. Did you see those two? They weren't quite where I wanted them. They were a little too much towards the body. I actually want to pull a little wider, so I'm going to pull a little wider with this one. There we go. That one's much better. You get it to that outside, you pull them off the court, you're to the weaker side, typically their backhand side, and it leaves the court wide open. Typically you're going to get a weak return, attack forward, put that ball away. Then I've got one more that I really like if you're really messing around a little bit. This is a short angle kick serve. This one's kind of hard to hit, but you really got to go with the spin on this one. Really accelerate the racket head. One more time. There's the one I want. That's a shot I love to hit. Very difficult to hit. Then we're going to go with this side as well. We'll go some to the body. You'll kick it to the body. Or if you're going to their forehand side, you'll normally hit a slice to pull them out wide. It's very, very important as we hit second serves. Number one, that you trust it, that you understand what causes the spin to generate the spin so that we can keep the consistency nice and high over the net, have that ball come down into the court and jump, either one way or the other, depending on what kind of spin you put on it. Very important to trust these. Get out with cones, so you're actually working to different parts of the court. Like all of our serves, the second serve is very critical that you move it around the box, that you don't become consistent. Don't hit it to the exact same spot every time, but change it up. Change up the slice and topspin, change up the placement in the box. Very, very important, because if you do, then the returner will not know what's coming. You keep them off balance. If you hit to the same spot every time, no matter if you're hitting deep and good, they're going to get used to it and get in a groove. You're going to run into trouble. So change it up from our deuce side all the way to the ad side. Mix it up, but practice the topspin. Practice the slice. You gain those two serves, your second serve will be wonderful. You can trust it. You can hit it any time. And you know that it's going to go in, and it will be a shot that will actually generate points rather than be that little lollipop that you're scared to death is going to come back harder than you hit it. Now we're going to play a little game. With a friend, this is a great way to do it. As you notice, these cones are a great investment. They're very inexpensive. Too often we go out when we're serving and we just go out and try to blast our serve, blast it until we get it in, and we don't learn how to hit direction with that serve. With the cones, we're actually able to work on direction. This game, what we're doing is you get 1 point for the correct direction. We're going to go down the line, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We won't go to the short angles because those are real tough to hit. 1 point for correct direction, 3 points for a hit, and you can pick whatever number you want, some arbitrary number. We're going to go to the number 11. The first one to 11 wins. So I'm going after the far left in the deuce box for the first one. That would be 1 point for correct direction. Now I move it over to the one at the body. Again, close, so that's correct direction. That's number 2 points. Now I'm going to go right up the tee. Still only 2 points. Now I move off to the next side. I'm also going up the tee. I'll give myself a point because it's my game. That's point number 3. Now I'm going to go up at the body to the ad court. That's point 4. Now move to the outside up in the ad court, out to their backhand. That's 5 points. Then your partner comes in. He does the exact same thing. Now it's Gary's turn. We're going to go to the outside on the deuce box, or to the forehand side. That's a let, so we give him another serve just like regular tennis. If you don't like your toss, you do not have to hit it. That's 1 point. Notice you don't have to hit flat. You can hit whatever serve you want in this game, so practice everything. That's point number 2. Now he's going up the tee. Still point number 2. Now he moves over to the ad box up the tee. Is that good? That's point number 3. Very nice serve. Right on the tee. To the body on the ad side. That's good. Point number 4. Now to the outside on the ad box. And a little long. So I'm leading 5-4. Life is good. Then we go back to the exact same thing until someone gets to 11 first. As you can see, this is a great drill. Get out with your partner, play some games, work on positioning or directing that ball exactly where you want it to go. Work with cones. They're a great way to improve your accuracy and your direction on your serve. If you can get that direction down and stay deceptive, your serve will be way better than it is right now. You don't have to hit it 140 miles per hour in order to win points. If you can move it around the box and hit it to your opponent's weak side, it will win so many points. You can hit it with the flat serve, the topspin or kick serve, or the slice serve. It doesn't matter. Change that up as well. That will give you that much more of an edge. But get out and practice hitting your targets. That will help tremendously. Now we're going to move on and do a different drill with an opponent on the other side and have them return the ball and see what you're supposed to do after you serve and have the ball coming back. So you're actually prepared after you serve the ball. So let's pick up the cones and let's move on to the next drill. Now we've worked on how to hit the serves, the flat, the topspin kick serve, and the slice serve. We've worked direction. Now we're going to work live ball situations where you have an opponent on the other side. Work on hitting your serve and getting ready for the next ball. Whether you're going to stay back and hit a ground stroke or you're actually going to attack and serve and volley. Watch what I do. It's very important that we actually go and we're ready for the next shot. I don't care if you hit the greatest serve of your life. Always have the mentality that every ball is coming back because you just never know. So be ready for any ball that comes back and adjust and go for the next shot. So we're going to work this in. I'm going to hit all different types of serves. I'm going to hit all different types of spins. And we're going to kind of show you what I'm doing in order to help work on my opponent's weaknesses and win points. So I'm not always going to hit the same serve over and over. I'm going to change it up, direction, everything in the box. So let's go. We're going to play the points out, and we'll kind of discuss it as we go. But notice that one I kind of served and volleyed because I saw the ball was sitting up. So I attacked forward, hit that next volley, then I was going to continue on in behind it. I went with a flat serve up the tee on that particular shot. Actually, a little more to the body. Again, I decided to serve and volley. As you get older, sometimes this is better because you're able to go in, finish the points quick without having to hit a lot of balls. Ooh, big flat serve up the tee. After I went a couple to the body, I wanted to change things up. Like a good pitcher, a good server is going to hit several different types of serves so that the opponent cannot get a good chance to react and get a good groove on the returns. That's a little long. I have to give Gary a little break here. We've been serving so much, he hasn't had a chance to really get his groove on the return back in. So I have a big advantage. The server already has a big advantage. Again, on that one, I decided to serve and stay back. You notice I served, moved forward, I backed out of the zone, got into a nice split step in a good position for a ready position to go to the next ball. Again, change your serves up. Went up the tee on that, got a nice short return, was able to follow it in, go for the winner up the line. Notice one constant on all of my serves, no matter if it's a flat, topspin, or slice serve, I'm always moving forward on it. So I'm able to move in and get ready to hit that next shot. I'm going to show you a little different if I'm actually on my heels after my serve. I'm not able to get, number one, I probably won't get it in. Boy, I hit quite a serve actually off my heels. See, moving away from the ball, you cannot control it and go back up the line. I would have much rather gone down the line with that shot. But by falling away, I cannot keep the ball under control. This is such a good drill. You can hit a few to the forehand side, then we'll move over to the backhand side, hit some live balls from that side. I'm constantly changing pace, spins, and placement in the box. I don't want the returner to have a good chance to become comfortable in the box. I want him to not really have no idea what's coming next. Stay down. Good return. Good return. Okay. Notice he hit a great return in that shot. I've got to look at that. Maybe if I go there again, he hits another great return, I'll stay away from that spot a little more. Again, moving forward, I decided to go power to power. He has got a huge backhand and a big, huge forehand. I got lucky on the return because I was moving forward. I was in good position. Miss it, get ready, set up, decide where I want to go with the next serve, and go for it. Inside out forehand. Just go for those shots. My toss was too low, so I pushed it long. Work the second serve. Oh, goodness. Set up nice for that. Nice return, Gary. Yeah. Notice he's slicing the ball well, so I probably need to change it up a little bit more. Yeah, see, I went off speed on that serve. I didn't have to go power, I went off speed. You don't have to hit power to win points. Then decided to go a little faster again. We changed things up. Great servers change pace. All right, we'll go a couple more on this side, and then we'll move over to the other side. Slice to the body. Went slice to the body on that one. I haven't hit that serve yet. Again, we want to change everything up. Last one to this side, and then we'll change sides. No. Had to try to be a He-Man on that one. Here we go. All right. Off-speed kicker, baby. Now we're going to serve into the ad box. Again, work your strengths and try to work on their weaknesses from this side. Oh, great shot. He got me on my heels from the beginning. That's why I didn't have anything behind the shot. Nice return, Gary. I know Gary doesn't like the high kick serve, so I'm going to go for a high kick to his backhand. See what I told you? Now I'm going to go down the tee with the slice, see if I can pull him out wide. Oh, shoot. I'll try the kick. I'm going to kick down the tee this time. And I would rarely do that with Gary because he's got a huge forehand, but you want to change it up. Every once in a while, throw that in there so that they don't get comfortable with what you're doing. Notice every time it's very different. It's all around the box, all different speeds. I just don't want him to get any type of comfort over there, any type of groove. You don't want anyone to get grooved in their return or you're in trouble. Shoot! I wanted that, sir. Every once in a while, you just want to feel like a He-Man. All right, this is going to be the last point. Let's see who's the champion of the day. Big serve to the offsides. Great way to go about working the live ball drills. Get out, practice this. It's a lot of fun with a good friend. Now we're going to work the serve on the wall. As you can see from all of my videos, I think the wall is a great training aid. It's one that is really underutilized. The serve can also be worked on the wall. It's very important to find a wall that has the correct distance from the baseline to the serve or to the net so that we know what we're trying to hit on. We don't want to get in a bad habit on the wall. So we want to go over proper form again, proper technique, work on our toss so that toss is in a consistent place each time, and work on the full snap of the wrist at the top. Okay, so let's quickly review the form of the serve. First things first is the grip. The grip that we want to use is the continental grip again. V of the hand, platform number 1 on your grip. From that point, we want to get our feet set. Remember the preparation stage that we talked about. Get your feet set in a place that you feel comfortable at. If it's left foot forward with your weight on the front foot, that's fine. If you want to have it rocking back, your weight on your back foot already, that's fine as well. You find where you feel comfortable. So remember that preparation stage is just a matter of getting to the line. Left foot is forward, pointing at the right net post, either a 45 degree or 90 degree to the baseline, depending on what you feel most comfortable with. Again, remember, that's so that we can rotate our hips. The hips are already rotated at that point. From there, we start out, get in our preparation. I happen to drop the ball a couple times and get myself set with my weight on my front foot. I go through the rocking motion. Find what you feel most comfortable with to get yourself into the correct position. So get yourself here. From this point, we want to get up into the power position. Drop our arms down and toss that ball up. So down together and up together. All right? Again, remember, the best servers in the world don't necessarily get the racket up to that power position in the same way. Some use the abbreviated position, which they come up this way. Patrick Rafter, several others do it that way. Rios, several others. They come up this way to that power position. Some go through the full motion, which is all the way back up to that power position. But the thing that is identical from one great server to the next is they get themselves into the power position, ready to get up there and explode. So we go through that loading stage, which is to get ourselves coiled. We rotate the hips, rotate the shoulders, get up into that power position. So we're in that position to just explode on the ball at that point. So here, preparation stage, the loading stage, into the power position, then the exploding or the unloading stage. Reach, snap that wrist, and follow through across the body. Remember the feet. There's two things that we can do with the feet. We can either step up or have the foot back, depending on what we feel most comfortable with. Again, all the great servers do it differently. It's up to you. Try them both, see what you feel the best about. But the serve when on the wall is go through those proper steps. Use proper form, use proper technique to get yourself driving the legs up, extending, snapping, and following through, going right at your target. What I try to do on the wall is I make sure that I have a line set at least 36 inches high, which represents the net, so that I know I'm not hitting down below the net. I try to go somewhere in the middle of the wall so that I can work on going to the diagonal sides, so I'm actually working the proper sides as well. And then I go through the proper motion, and I just do it over and over. The greatest thing, again, about the wall is you can do it any time. You don't have to find someone else to help you. You don't have to go chase balls. You can go through the motion, the ball comes back. So you don't have to go running a long way for the balls, which you do if you go out on just a court. You have to hit one ball or three balls over, go chase, start hitting them back over. It takes very long. The wall helps us cut down on that amount of time. So we go through the proper motion and work through hitting. Again, go through your motion the same every time. Preparation, go through that exact same preparation stage at the beginning of the match or the end of the match. We do the exact same routine. Then we get ourselves set, reach, snap, and follow through. Go through the motion. You notice the motion. The legs are driving down, up to the ball, snapping, and following through. So we're able to go through that motion, know that it's above the net, and it should be going in. It's a great way to get your arm warmed up and get very confident on our serve. You don't have to hit the ball hard to start out with. Go through that motion, get yourself nice and comfortable in hitting the ball correctly. But work on proper form. Reach, snap, and follow through. Work on that toss in the same place every time. About 2-3 feet inside the line and at the height of your reach. Remember, I like to hit the ball on the rise, so I don't have to worry about the wind, I don't have to worry about the sun, and that's just the way that I have learned. You find what you feel the most comfortable with. The toss is in several different places as well. Some throw it real high, wait till the ball comes down. Some are right at the tip where it gets to that point where it stops and then starts coming down, and then they hit it. You find what you feel most comfortable with. I happen to like it on the rise, so I give my opponent less time to react to what's going on with the ball. They don't have a long time to look at the ball and catch it. It's almost like a pitcher that hides the ball a little bit so that they can't find the ball and don't quite know what's coming off, whether it's going to be a spin serve or whether it's going to be a flat. It's harder for them to catch what I'm going to do with it. But work on the wall. This is such a great workout. Get out on the wall. You can grab 1, 2, 3 balls, and that's all you need. And you can wear yourself out in a half an hour, 45 minutes. You're tired. and you can hit so many serves over and over. Get out, work on the wall, use it for what it's meant to be. Practice your flat serve, practice your topspin, practice your slice, so that when you move out onto the real court, you'll be able to move that ball around exactly where you want it to be. And I guarantee you, when you learn to move the ball around that box with different speeds, different spins, and different places, you're going to win a lot of points, easy points, because they're going to be over there never knowing what's coming at them. And you can really work on their weaknesses rather than give it to their strengths. All right, I know we've gone over a lot, so I want to do a quick review just to keep it all fresh in your mind. First things first is your grip. Make sure it's a continental grip or the V of the hand on platform number 1. Then you come up to the line, left foot forward, pointing at the right net post. Get yourself set and comfortable, nice and easy. Go through your particular routine. Remember the loading stage where we're rotating our shoulders, our hips, and we're getting that racket up into the power position where the racket's back behind the head, ready to drop and rotate. Then the exploding stage where you go through reaching, contacting that ball at the height of the reach, nice consistent place with that toss each time, and snapping through right at your target. Everything moving into the court. Go through that basic form. Very, very important. Get that basic form down. Get out and work on your serves. You're going to find that as you work on it more, it'll become more and more comfortable. There's no easy way to get a good serve. You have to go out and hit ball after ball after ball until that form is there and you feel comfortable in any situation. So when the pressure's on, we start to tighten up. We want to be relaxed knowing that we can hit it because we've hit it several times before. So go through these basic forms, get these techniques down, and I'm going to see you in the next tape. Get out, practice your serve. This is the start of the match. When you're serving well, everything else falls in place. It's very easy to return serve. It's very easy to hit ground strokes. It's very easy to hit volleys, overheads. Everything else is much easier when you're comfortable with your serve and you're winning points. So let's see you on the next tape.